Opening up our relationship was the best thing to happen to our marriage. Until now. Backstory: my wife and I have been married for 7 years, together for 10. Our married life was stale for the past couple of years. I went out with my single friends and was jealous at all the attention they were getting and the number of relationships they had. I had only been with one other woman and I was my wife's first relationship. I wanted to spark up our relationship. I researched and stumbled on ethical non-monogamy and it seemed like the best option to save our marriage. With this, we could get the experience we were missing and apply it to our own marriage. I approached my wife and she shut it down immediately and issued ultimatum. But after a few conversations she reluctantly agreed to try it out as long as we didn't talk about our partners or anything about E&M. In the beginning it was amazing. I was with 2 women. I was super discreet. I got a hotel room every time. I bought them flowers and chocolates from my account, not our joint account. The past few months, my wife has gotten back into makeup and fashion. She's dolling up and working out again. I was so happy to get my wife back and she genuinely seemed happier. She was back to her old self again, the woman I met and loved. Our life wasn't yet back to sparks and passion, but I was confident it would come back. Fast forward to today. My wife was talking to her best friend on the phone and I overheard her talking about her boyfriend. I thought she slipped up and forgot I was her husband, not her boyfriend anymore. Until my friends set my head on straight and told me she probably had a boyfriend. I unlocked her phone and she's been dating some young guy and she's lapping up all this attention. He talked about trying to knock up my wife in her office, in our marriage bed, everywhere. He even told her to dump me at the beginning of their chat. My wife does nothing to stop this, just a feeble, "He's my husband, we've been married for a decade," occasionally. Nothing about me at all. Nothing. I'm devastated. I want to ask her to close up the relationship, at least on her side, because she's broken my trust.
A man rejected me because of my alopecia, and I don't give a fuck. I've had alopecia for about 6 years now. I usually wear wigs, but it's no secret, and I like sporting a turban, or a bald head, when it's hot outside, when I go to the beach, or the pool, or when I simply feel like it. I realized it's truly not big deal to me anymore yesterday, when a man rejected me because of it. We went on 2 dates and I was wearing a wig both times. They went great and he said so himself, but on the second date I told him about my hair loss, because I like to be upfront about it. I don't want to hide, and I don't want to have to wear a wig around a potential SO if I don't feel like it. He was taken aback, and said he needed time to think. Then yesterday he came over to my place and told me it isn't something he's willing to deal with. I simply said, okay, that's cool, and sent him on his merry way. If this had happened a few years ago, I'd be devastated, but it doesn't affect me much now. Sure, rejection stings, but if he isn't able to accept who I am, then he's not a man I'm interested in being with. I'm not willing to pretend to be someone I'm not just for the sake of someone else's comfort. I am so fucking proud of myself, I needed to share this.
I called off the wedding with my fiancée. I made a previous post here about my fiancée blowing a guy at her bachelorette party. Somehow, some folks were able to guess my name and now it's gone. When she came back and I confronted her with the video like you all suggested, she denied it, saying she doesn't remember doing any of that. She said she barely drank and her friend that sent the video was just trying to separate us. She told me her friend has been jealous of the fact that we are getting married and feels she would be a better match for me because my fiancé is too wild and wouldn't make a good wife. Sheesh, there was so much drama involved. It was almost comical. There is literally video evidence against my fiancé, but she's denying it. She claims she was framed. My friend sent the video to my mum and it's a mess. She told me she won't let me make a mistake that would ruin my life. TBH, I just want to leave. I need a fucking break from all this madness. If this was a prank, then they got me, they win. I'm done. People here are really reaching by saying my friend set my fiancé up. It's not a movie, stuff like that don't happen in real life. I want to find an excuse for my fiancé, but my friend had nothing to do with it. I trust her, my man, video doesn't lie. She got caught and is stupidly denying it. You did the right thing deciding not to marry her.
I hate that my boyfriend's a gamer. My boyfriend and I have been together for about 6 months now, but we were FWB for about a year and a half before that. We've also been living together for about 5 months now, and this is my first time ever living with a partner. I am currently 32 weeks pregnant with our son. He's put off quite a lot, because he would rather be gaming. I've done all the baby stuff, went to all the doctor's appointments myself. I do most of the cooking and cleaning. It makes me feel like we're just roommates. He gets up maybe an hour before work, goes to work, comes home, and will game until he has like 4-5 hours of sleep left before he has to wake up. That's all he does: game, sleep, work, smoke weed, maybe sex, eat. I understand how fun and how much of an escape video games can be. I love to game myself. I just haven't had time for it, because I've been trying to get things ready for the baby and took up more shifts at work to save up. It makes me resentful and jealous that he can do his fun things, but I can't. Someone has to do the work, and it's all fallen on me. Recently, I've getting after my boyfriend about him helping me with the nursery. There's still so much left to do, and he promised me weeks ago that this is something we would work on together. I'm the only one that's done anything for it so far, and honestly, I'm the only one that's done anything baby-related throughout my pregnancy. When he asked me to move in, he made a lot of promises that he hasn't kept up with. I've told him how I feel about it before, and we recently had a big fight. I asked him a question, and he told me to fuck off, because he was playing his game, and he ignored me every time I tried to talk to him. So I took my phone out and shut off the internet using the app. He absolutely lost it, like it scared me, and I asked him to leave. He called me all kinds of names and said I was ungrateful, and that he should break up with me over something like that. I really didn't think he would blow up like that. I was just frustrated and tried to get his attention. He left that night and stayed at his brother's place. He said he won't go home yet, and I apologized. I feel like I crossed a line I didn't know would just make everything fall apart. I feel like he really does hate me now. I don't know how else to apologize. I just wish things were different. Edit. I'd like to add that when I found out that I was pregnant and told him, he had to convince me to go through with the pregnancy and made many false promises to be better and to be a good parent. Slight update. I don't want to post a full update, but he's decided to come back home today, so hopefully we can talk and maybe work things through, but I doubt it'll be any more productive than our previous conversations. I am going to give him an ultimatum, though, as much as I hate to, but something has to change. So he came home yesterday, and I told him wanted to sit down and talk things through. I told him that the way that he acted wasn't acceptable, and that I won't be tolerating anything like that again. I also said that I would need to see him help me out around the house more. He apologized for how he acted. He even brought me flowers. We both had off from work, so he took me out to eat. I've been craving Mexican, so he took me to my favorite Mexican restaurant. Everything seemed like it was resolved. When we got home from work, I took a shower and he said that we could work on the nursery together once I was done. By time I got out and dried my hair, he was playing on the computer again. I tried not to get frustrated and waited until he was done with the game to try to get his attention. He just gestured at me to leave him alone and said in a few minutes he would log off. I went and did some laundry while I was waiting for about a half hour and came back. This time, when I tried to get his attention, he was much more annoyed and said that he would get to it tomorrow, but he would come to bed with me tonight. So I just gave up and went to bed early since I was tired anyways. I woke up hours later, around when he goes to bed. I could still hear him yelling on his game. I got up and asked him to come to bed. I guess his friends that he was playing with heard me, and he just started mocking me and making jokes. I could tell that he was pretty drunk. I reminded him about our talk, and how I can't put up with this forever. He jokingly asked if I would turn off the internet again, and I said that I would if that's what it takes for him to actually do something. You could see the switch flip in him, and he picked up a spare keyboard he just had on his desk and chucked it at me. Started yelling at me and absolutely lost it like he did the other day. Well, I packed my things and just left to go to my parents. At first he made fun of me, called me name, then he started crying and apologizing. I didn't say a thing, grabbed what I could, and took my car to my parents. I called them on the way, so they welcomed me in, and I went straight to my old room. I didn't sleep at all last night, and I called out of work for today. I'm just done. I don't know why I expected anything to change.